On the 13th of July 2020, the UK government issued its newest guidelines on the UK's new immigration system, which will change the present immigration system in the UK from the 1st of January 2021. The new points-based immigration system will end free movement with the European Union and signifies an important change to immigration in the UK. But we have a good news at the end of this video, so don't forget to watch the full video, especially the 14th change in the UK immigration system mentioned in this video update. Before we continue, please support our team by subscribing to our channel and press the bell icon to get the most up-to-date information on UK visas and immigration.
Changing the rules on immigration.
An immigration bill.
Points-based immigration system. Brightest and the best.
The greatest place to live.
In this video, we will talk about the 14 new changes in the UK immigration system. This video update summarizes the main changes in the latest guidelines that everyone in the UK should be aware of. Let's begin with the top 14 changes in the UK immigration system. 1. The Global Talent Visa route will be expanded to EU nationals from January 2021. 2. A single, coherent, and strict approach to criminality will be implemented. 3. Most migrants who are presently in the UK with a valid UK visa will be able to switch to another visa category without leaving the UK. 4. A health and care visa will be launched, although this astonishingly does not cover care workers. 5. The 12-month cooling off period for intra-company transfer migrants is to be eliminated. 6. Students can arrive into the UK 6 months before their course is due to start. This has been extended from 3 months. 7. A new UK graduate route is to be introduced, where undergraduate and master's degree students can apply for a 2-year graduate visa. PhD students can apply for a 3-year visa. Both UK visa routes do not require sponsoring, and the migrants will be able to switch into UK work visa routes. 8. Skilled migrants from outside the UK seeking to work in the UK will still be required to show that they acquired a job offer from an approved sponsor and that they satisfy the English language requirement. 9. The job offer should be at the required skill level of RQF3 or above, a level minimum. This skill level has reduced from a graduate level to an A-level minimum. 10. The monthly cap on the number of migrants who can be sponsored under Tier 2 General will be abandoned. 11. The advertising process, the resident labour market test, has also been cancelled. 12. Applicants will be required to meet the minimum salary limit. This will be either £25,600 per year for an experienced worker under Tier 2 General, which has been lessened from the present minimum of £30,000 per year. 13. If their salary is over £20,480 per year, they may be able to be sponsored if the job is in a shortage occupation or a PhD role by trading characteristics. 14. After proposals from the Migration Advisory Committee, the UK government will try to introduce a new, unsponsored visa route within the points-based system for a reduced number of the most highly skilled migrant workers to come to the UK with no job offer. At the moment, there is no date provided at present for the launch of this scheme, although it is expected to be in 2022. This is the end of today's video update. We hope you liked the video, so comment below if you have any questions.
It is part school, part orphanage, and for many of these children it is the only home they have. They don't know if their parents are dead or alive, because they are amongst the million Uyghurs who have vanished into Chinese government internment camps.
Today is a good day. Today is a good day.
Their children have freedom, because most were taken from China to Turkey by relatives.
How difficult is it to not be with your family?
It's like a unknown feeling, and I can say it's so hard, like when you say
all their heartbreak, history may write of these children as the lucky ones, as survivors of a genocide. China stands accused of seeking to eradicate the Uyghur population, and some of the accusations come from those who now claim to have helped that cause. This doctor is speaking out to try and right the wrongs of her past. She says back home in China she spent her career performing forced abortions on women from her community or sterilising them on behalf of the Chinese government.
In 20 years, I participated in at least 500 to 600 operations, including forced contraception, forced abortion and sterilization, and forced removal of wombs.
Hers is horrific testimony, which stands at odds with her medical oath to do no harm, but fits with a birth rate which has fallen 60%.
We'd go village to village, gather all the women and herd them onto tractors. Young women were fitted with contraceptive devices. Pregnant women would have to have an abortion, then sterilization. We even inserted birth control implants into women's upper arms to prevent pregnancy. This is how the government persecuted the Uyghur women.
She eventually fled to Turkey, and it was there she told me about abortions carried out at full term, babies born alive then killed by injection, others thrown away whilst in the final moments of life.
The clear intention was ethnic cleansing. We were asked to believe this was part of the Communist Party's population control plan. At the time, I thought it was my job. I felt sorry to see the killing of a small baby, but I never fully realized its damage to the nation. Now I feel such regret.
And so she helps those who also fled, but suffer different regrets. Kalbinur Kamal is now safe in Turkey, having smuggled her daughter out of China. Her first child was forcibly taken from her body. She hid her next pregnancy. Turkey offers sanctuary to those who had to leave their homeland, but the horrors of their past and fears for their people and their futures never leave them. Emma Murphy, News at 10, Istanbul.
Year 7 back studying science, but not in the lab.
So you've got heart cells or heart muscle cells.
The first week back has felt like an experiment in many ways, but here attendance has been 98%.
I didn't expect as many students to come in the numbers that they have come in. I thought maybe some of them would be reserved at least for a little bit before actually coming back to school, but they've flooded in and we've welcomed them all, and it's been great having full classrooms and being able to be in front of them all again.
The head teacher says the good attendance figures are testament to the work they've done during lockdown. All schools have been sent 10 home testing kits for emergencies from the government. And Mr. Gelder says parents and staff have felt reassured by the school's communication.
It's really heartening that the work that we've put in has now been rewarded by 98% of students coming back in with the right attitude to get back into teaching and learning, and for them to start making the progress that we want them to make.
Any fears that parents might be put off sending their children back to school seem non-existent here.
I think it's brilliant. I don't see any reason why the kids shouldn't be at school as long as the school are following all precautions and making it safe for them.
I know even my children, they are safe in school because school staff is very good.
I've got 4 at school, 3's gone back already, 1's Monday. I think it's what they need, their education.
The first week back has gone well, but this was just years 7 and 11. The real test starts next week when all 1,000 pupils and staff return. Stacey Foster, ITV News, Solihull.
Almost half of all flights at Faro Airport in Portugal's Algarve go to and from the UK, with today all the pressure on departures. For those going back home to Scotland, there's still time to beat the quarantine deadline in the early hours of tomorrow. But anyone in line for the Cardiff flight this morning, there hadn't been enough warning, and many were pretty angry about that.
Now we have to quarantine for 14 days. And if we'd realised this, we probably wouldn't have come out if they were going to reintroduce it as quickly within 2 weeks of lifting it. I think it's grossly unfair.
How inconvenient is it going to be for you now?
Very, because we waited and waited to make sure that we could come when we were allowed, so the children wouldn't miss school. So we waited till it was opened, and now they've got to miss school for 2 weeks anyway.
The longest queues were for flights to England, where there's no quarantine requirement yet, but no one's sure for how long. Most of these people were booked to fly back today anyway, but some have spent a lot of money changing their flights to beat quarantine, only to find if they're going to England, they didn't need to. It all emphasises just how much this is costing tourists, the local economy here in Portugal, and of course the UK travel industry.
Some friends of ours who met us, they had to book flights to come out for the possibility of changing, and then obviously didn't happen, so
they spent money and they didn't need to?
They spent about £800 on an early flight and didn't need to, yeah.
Undeterred by new quarantine rules or the threat of more to follow, many were still arriving in Faro this afternoon, either believing a holiday in the sun is worth the risk or happy enough to self-isolate if necessary.
We didn't know anything right up until yesterday evening, did we? Did
you think about cancelling?
We wouldn't have cancelled, no, we spent too much money to cancel it, just for the quarantine.
We wouldn't have got our money back if we'd have cancelled, so...
That is what taking a holiday has become right now, a series of last-minute decisions, a gamble that borders once opened will stay open, and always the risk of a sudden, very expensive dash back home. James Mates, News at 10 in the Algarve.
Proper Yorkshire.
In Leeds this evening, the drinks are flowing at the city centre's bars and restaurants. But coronavirus cases are on the rise, especially amongst young people. Infection rates have reached 32.5 cases per 100,000, and people are being warned to socialise sensibly to avoid a local lockdown.
I can confirm, but not even all of my friends are following that, sadly. So I think so worrying.
It's a big city, Leeds. We're always really, really busy. There's a lot of mix of different ages. It's a party city, so yeah.
Seeing what everyone's been up to, especially at the weekends recently, it's not that much of a surprise.
The message is not protect yourself at all costs. It is protect yourself a little bit, but we've all got to get back to work. We've got to make money. Otherwise, the economy is going to implode.
Public health officials say the increase in infections began around the same time as A-level and GCSE exam results came out. And ahead of the influx of students for the start of their new academic year, extra measures are being put in place for messaging, prevention and testing.
In a way, it's inevitable as we move through lockdown and people return to education and work. We will see more cases, and it reflects a national increase in this population group. So Leeds is not unique, but it's hitting us now as a city.
Leeds is one of 5 places to be put on the watch list today, along with South Tyneside, Corby, Middlesbrough and Kettering. But while these are now areas of concern, other places that have been under a local lockdown are being told their restrictions will soon be easing. Pools, gyms and sports facilities can now open across the country. And in Greater Manchester, Lancashire and West Yorkshire, casinos, skating rinks and bowling alleys can reopen next week. But social distancing measures will remain. But in Greater Manchester, people are being warned they must still stick to the rules.
The virus is still out there. We have a higher number of cases here than other parts of the country. So, people have got to take care when they're going out and about, wear face coverings, keep distancing if they're going to these businesses. But actually tonight this is some good news for everybody.
In Leeds, they're heading towards a tipping point and relying on the public to stay safe and keep the city out of lockdown. Martha Fairley, News at 10 in Leeds.